Good morning. We are about to go live. We've been gone for several days and we've returned. Judge Pattison is gone this week, so it's going to be a very busy week. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of April. We have pre-exam conferences starting at about 9. We're going to begin the morning with bench warrant arraignments and regular Tuesday morning arraignments. We have quite a few of those. And we have a very busy morning of pre-exam conferences, and then we have an afternoon with preliminary examinations, some potentially very serious charges scheduled for preliminary examination this afternoon. So we're bringing people in right now, and let's see what we got. Good morning, sir. You look like a bandit in a Western movie with that hat and that mask on. What's your name, sir?
Bud Bubitz.
Oh, good morning, Bud. I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
You ever see the silent movie, The Train Robber?
Bits and pieces of it, yes.
It's only about a minute long, I think. But anyway, that's what you look like. But I don't know if you remember me. We've talked about this before. I remember you from when you were a kid. Lived over on Garden Street.
Yeah, I remember.
I lived back there on Barrows Court. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
Miss Jackson is with us.
What do you think?
I don't know. I didn't. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, Jeanette.
Morning.
The lady, one of the ladies up there, I'm sure.
All right, everybody just stay right where you are. We got some things to do here. Well, we'll get going here. Well, I think we're ready to start.
What's that?
Oh, I had to get everything ready to go here. Good morning. You guys are here a little early, and there's no problem with that. You're here for an arraignment. That's the process where the judge tells you what you're charged with and asks you how you wish to plead to the charge. Mr. Bowens, would you take your hat off and your mask off so I can see you?
Yeah.
Ms. Jackson is here with us from the Public Defender's Office. You're charged with being a disorderly person in the city of Three Rivers. It's alleged that on or about April 16th, you were a disorderly person in Three Rivers. Ms. Grant, I'll be with you here in just a moment. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. The normal fine is $75 plus costs. Let me see if I can see what it is exactly you did. South Erie Street, fighting in public. Well, that constitutes disorderly person, but it's not assault and battery. Mr. Bubbitts, how do you plead to the charge of being a disorderly person there in Three Rivers on April 16th?
Guilty.
Tell me what happened.
We've been having a lot of trouble around the neighborhood here. The clinic right behind us got robbed not about a year ago. And the lady that I got, a lady doctor in the next clinic over,
Dr. Patel?
I guess that's her name.
Okay.
But anyways, somebody tried to molest her, I guess, and I scared them off. And,
Well, did you get in a fight with somebody?
not exactly. I'm getting up to that though.
Okay.
I was out for a walk and I seen this car pull me just in the parking lot where I saved this lady. And I was kind of curious to who it was who was in the car. I've never seen her there that late at night before. And
Yeah, this was about 10:17.
Mhm.
Okay.
And anyway, these two guys got out and I pulled a knife.
Oh, well, that'll do it. You live there at the apartments with your mom?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, that escalates into a public quarrel or disturbance. There's a $75 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, and a $50 state minimum fee. That's $200. Mr. Bubbitts, can you pay that in 30 days, or do you need a payment plan?
Payment plan.
All right. $50 per month on 15th of May. Or 3 days in jail, which you can't really do these days, but I'll just say that. I'll just say it. Zero or show cause. $50 per month starting May 15th. And your address is still apartment B at South Erie Street?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Bubbitts, I'm glad nobody got hurt. But did anyone threaten you to get you to plead to this charge?
Nope.
Did they promise you anything?
Nope.
You understand, I would have appointed an attorney for you if you'd asked. All you had to do is ask me and I would do that. But at this point, this matter is concluded. You have 4 months to pay a $200 fine.
Yes, sir.
All right, do you have any questions?
Am I going to jail?
No, you're not going to jail. No jail. You gotta pay the fine or you'll go to jail.
Okay, well, I get paid.
All
I
right,
have to pay.
how about if you don't get in any more trouble and put your mask and hat on and you can ride off into the sunset. You're good to go, Mr. Bubbitts.
May I ask you a favor?
Yes.
Small one. Can you get the cop that arrested me to tell my landlord that some people that I had the encounter with did not live at the apartment complex? He told them they did. And I don't want to get evicted from my house. My mom's too old.
Well, I don't know anything about that. Mr. Barnes is joining us. He's the Three Rivers City Attorney.
Okay.
He has his... Good morning, Mr. Barnes.
Morning. Hey, John.
Mr. Bubbitts pled guilty to the disturbing the peace charge. And I fined him $200 in a payment plan. But his concern was he doesn't want to get evicted from the apartment complex. But this thing, I don't think happened at the apartment complex.
It,
Happened over at like Dr. Patel's office parking lot or something. What do you know about it, John?
Let me see. Let's see. Out on a complaint, priority tone regarding an assault. One of the participants had a knife. On arrival, both parties had separated. The person who had the knife had gone back to his apartment. During the investigation, the suspect found to be highly intoxicated and uncooperative, inappropriate behavior, arrested and transported to Three Rivers Health for mental health evaluation due to his behavior. After medical evaluation, issued an appearance citation, given a court date and released.
His concern was the other guys didn't live at the apartment complex, but they can have access to the report. So we'll just leave it at that. Mr. Bubbitts, you left out the part where you were drunk, but I've accepted your plea. You've got several months to pay this, and you're free to go on about your business. So you can go. We'll just leave that room open. Good luck, sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Nossinger has joined us. All right, you're good to go, Mr. Bubbitts. And Angela Grant is here with us. This is also a City of Three Rivers case. He's going off to rob a train, I think. Angela Grant is file 219816OT. Good morning, Ms. Grant.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I'm a little stuffed up here, returning back to Michigan pollen from Florida pollen, so I apologize. But you got charged with driving suspended and no proof of insurance under Three Rivers City ordinance. And you got that ticket on April 20th. Driving suspended is our most common offense. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Let's take a look here.
I did send you an email yesterday with some papers showing that I do have everything ready for my hearing. I'm just waiting on the court date or the date for them to call me when I have it. I have done everything prior to the getting pulled over. And on that morning, particularly, my house had been broken into a few weeks back. And I sent you some things also showing that Miss Elaine Smith had written it on a little piece of paper the day I called them when I got broken into, and my house in the basement was flooded when I got home. And they had kicked the water heater pipe where the hot comes out. So I had to have the city come check to see, because when I fixed that part, the main water coming into my house was leaking. So I had them come at 8:30 that morning, and he lent me his tools, and I needed to go get the valve from Menards, and that's where I was going. And my sister and my sister-in-law were both at work, or I would have had a ride later, but the city was there at that moment, so I had them shut the water off as to not take more of their time, and I shouldn't have drove. That's very true. I was trying.
You live over on 2nd Avenue?
Still do, sir. He pulled me over on Broadway.
John, everything on here is quite old. She had a bunch of driver responsibility fees, and it goes back
to 04.
to 04. Hi.
Hey, Your Honor.
Thanks for turning that on. So I missed the first part. You said you sent me an email. Here it is. Let's take a look.
It's quite large, I apologize.
You don't need to apologize.
Yeah,
Uh,
she sent me a copy. I could kind of summarize it for you.
Right.
A very fat packet, looks like a complete packet, ready to send to the Secretary of State to ask for a driver license review. She's got a long history of a couple drunk drivings and some drug-related cases. Recently, it looks like she's got documentation from a lot of different sources proving sobriety and consistent participation in alcohol treatment. So I suspect she might be successful at the Secretary of State's office, but this would be a roadblock. I'm willing to defer this for a while and see how she does at the Secretary of State. If she's making progress, then I'd willing to turn this into a 257.326. The officer did give her a break. She had no license, no insurance, no registration, no nothing.
And a flooded basement.
And a flooded basement. So I think he tried to exercise a little restraint there. But
Well, Ms. Grant, I've known you since you were a kid and was there for some of that baggage on your driving record. You look good.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in some time. And I knew your parents. And it sounds like you're trying to do the right thing here.
I am, yeah.
The problem is the Secretary of State is so backed up right now. Do you have a hearing date?
No, they have not responded to me yet. I was looking up yesterday who I could call maybe to ask when that could happen, but I don't want to be a pest on them either. I did call, or I got online and made an appointment for the Secretary of State. It's September 2nd, I think at 11 a.m. That was the earliest date that the Secretary of State had for me to legally put the vehicle in my name. I did not know that I could put a vehicle in my
Now,
name.
you can do it sooner than that. You have to do a next day appointment.
But I can't drive, Your Honor. And my sister-in-law both work all mornings, all day. My sister's here now on her computer.
Well, you can still, let's say you plan on doing it Friday. So you go in Thursday, first thing in the morning, and instead of trying to register for the 9 o'clock slot, you register for the 10:30 slot. You can probably get in.
Okay.
But the problem is you got to get from Three Rivers to Sturgis or Portage or somewhere else. But I don't want to defer this all the way until September.
I do apologize, Your Honor.
Well, you don't need to apologize. You drove, it ain't the crime of the century. You had some essential reasons to do it. The police officer gave you a break. Mr. Barnes is willing to give you a break.
And I do have insurance now on the vehicle.
All right.
I had it that day. It's in my sister's name.
Well, let's continue this. John, we're going to have to go at least 90 days.
Fine with me.
Thank you, Mr.
30, 16, 90. August 10. DLAD hearing, we'll adjourn this to pretrial, City of Three Rivers. Oh, I gotta make it a Tuesday. August 11. At 9 a.m. Let's see what you can do between now and August. Now, one thing I don't want you to do is don't drive anymore. This will undo everything you're trying to do with a SOS.
So do I tell them I got pulled over?
No,
No.
don't say anything about
That's
it.
not a lie.
You haven't been convicted of anything, so they don't
Okay.
need to know about it.
Okay,
If this works out, Mr. Barnes is gonna give you a plea offer to something that won't show up on your driving record.
thank you very much.
All right, so don't get in any more trouble. Keep trying
I
to get your stuff situated. Your next hearing is August 11th at 9 a.m. and we'll send the notice to your house there on Second Avenue. Do you
Thank
have
you.
any questions?
No, just thank you.
All
God
right,
bless.
you're good to go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Luke.
Morning, Judge. Welcome back.
Thank you. I have a bunch of random stuff here. Let's talk about your case. We got Tressa Jones has bench warrant arraignments on 3 cases today.
Yeah.
As you know, she hasn't absconded, but she's like a cat on a griddle. She's hard to get her here. In file 201604 SM, she's charged with larceny over 200, under 1,000. She's charged in file 201678 with squatting, and I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it doesn't sound good. MDOP of a building and illegal entry. And Branch County is handling that case. In fact, I think Branch County is handling all these cases, except the disorderly person from Three Rivers, which is 202421, which is Mr. Barnes and you. The problem with these is she's also got some felony cases pending, and Branch County got assigned the thing because of her relationship with Mr. Marvin as her previous defense attorney. So we keep kicking the can down the road, and she keeps missing court appearances. But she got picked up on a bench warrant. No, she didn't. There's a bench warrant out. And you sent me an email, said, what do we do about all these bench warrants? So let's dial her up. Luke, do you know what her next hearing is in any of her felony cases?
No, I don't. And I've spoken to Special Prosecutor Vanderveen, and I think we have a global resolution, at least for all our misdemeanor cases and potentially our felony case. Yeah, it's a pity she didn't appear this morning.
Well, I don't really want to have her arrested. As we all know, she hasn't gone anywhere. She just doesn't show up for court.
I spoke to her last week. I have a handful of phone numbers in my file. I can try and call her.
All right, so you have a proposed global resolution with special prosecutor?
Yeah.
On our city case, Your Honor, I think we're just going to suggest that she plead guilty, and we'd recommend time served or no jail.
Yeah, that global offer includes the city case.
What's the special prosecutor's name?
Susan Vanderveen.
What county?
Van Buren. I'm not quite sure how you spell her last name.
As you know, we had a lot of cases sent out for special prosecution, and including some really ugly ones.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Defendant failed to appear for bench warrant arraignment.
Your Honor,
Yes?
do you want, I found her felony case is coming up for a hearing on May 4th,
Okay.
and it says it's before you. I don't know exactly what the charge is. Hang on.
May 4th would be a Tuesday, pre-exam.
Let's see if I can find. No, that's a bind over.
I could appear that morning.
What's that, Luke?
I could appear that morning, and maybe we could have another go of it, of getting everything resolved.
Jeanette, what's the case number on that?
I just lost it. The computer just froze up. Hang on, I'll have to go back and get it again.
Luke, you have my authority to just bundle that city case with your package, okay?
Great, thank you.
Okay, let's see.
All right, John, if you wait just a minute, I'll call your other no-show cases here.
It looks like it's 20-2679-FY.
That's May 4th.
I think that's the one. And let me make sure. I don't know what happened to this. It just froze up. I couldn't get into it all of a sudden. Let's see.
1604, 1678,
Let's see.
and 202421.
I hope that's the one. Let's see. No, this is a different one. Let's see. Another one. Yes, that's it.
All right, that's what we'll do with those. All right, Mr. Barnes, Sally Powers, another one of our troubled clients, has a disorderly from Three Rivers for May 8th. She has failed to appear. We'll do an order to show cause.
Oh, let's see.
Sally called.
Sally Powers called.
Yeah, and she's struggling to know what to do, but she hung up before we could try and help her. So I didn't know if you wanted to try and call her.
All right, I'll try and call her. You in the conference room, what's your name, sir?
Doug Tullis.
What's your name?
Douglas Tullis, Tulls.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Tullis. Let me give you a name. Be with you in a minute.
The only other one I see here is a Sean Whitten on a disorderly. I presume he's a no-show also.
Well, we're going to call Miss Powers. Mr. Tullis is a driving suspended, and Sean Whitten is a Three River disorderly. So let's call, as you've dealt with Miss Powers before, and I have for 30 years. She's struggling.
Hello?
Good morning, Miss Powers. This is Judge Middleton. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you see me?
No, I've just called you on the telephone, so I can't see you, but
Okay, well, yeah, I ain't missing much.
okay.
It's not funny. I've not been doing good. So yeah, I would have been in the office on the 21st or 22nd. I knew I had to be there. So what am I getting in trouble for that day?
Well,
The rest of that Broadway market.
All right, well, let me tell you the charge. Mr. Barnes is here, the city attorney for Three Rivers. Ms. Jackson, the public defender, is here. And you got a ticket in Three Rivers on April 8th for being a disorderly person. The file number is 21733OM.
Hold on on, 21.
Well, you don't need to know that, but it's 21733OM. That's the file number. It should be on the paperwork we sent you.
Yeah,
All right, well, let me tell you what that is. It's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. The normal fine is $200. That's what the ticket is about. Failure to leave, I guess. You must have been at Broadway. How do you plead to that charge, Ms. Powers?
not guilty. I mean, it's hard for me to leave when I'm like walking everywhere I go, you know.
Well, where are you staying at your dad's in Kalamazoo or where?
No. I was staying in Three Rivers, and I ended up after I was arrested on I came down to St. Joe County on the 5th of I believe it was March, because it was a couple days before my birthday. I was incarcerated in the county jail till the 12th. I was released from there, and then I went to Three Rivers, and then basically was outside most of the time.
Are you still getting your settlement check each month?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. That's what I'm trying to get, that transferred to me.
So it's going to your guardian?
Yeah, and he'll tell you I'm my own guardian, although their whole company gets it. Like I was just getting ready to try to go into this Omni Center here in Sturgis, because I had my 2 forms of paper ID. It's just, you know, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, I've only ever received $600 at one time, and the most the man's given me in like over 5 years or plus, you know. He doesn't have a problem issuing the money to other people or like to a hotel, you know, weekly and stuff like that. But it's like, if I had my money, I could go find a place. Like, I'm walking everywhere.
Well,
I need a vehicle.
you've needed, for as long as I've known you, a permanent place to live. You keep staying in motels, and then you spend your check, and then you're homeless, and then you get another.
Okay, sir. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I've basically been homeless because Guardian of Finance, our advocacy, is the one that's been doing what they're doing.
Well, all right, I'm willing to appoint an attorney for you, show you plead not guilty, and set a pretrial for June 4th.
Pre-trial for what?
Well, on this charge, I'm appointing a lawyer to help you, Sally. I'm going to set it for June 4th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Now, where do I send your notice?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's a good question. I don't know. I guess send it to my mailing address. That's what I'm trying to establish, is a place to live. You know, I guess you can send it to my mailing address. But like my dad does not answer the phone for me. He will not talk to me. And Guardian has not been any help. You know, before Guardian, even after my incident injury in 1999, sir, I was able to establish residency, and I always paid my bills. You know, and I was able to drive. You know, and then it was St. Joe County here in Michigan that court ordered me to live with my father. I moved in with my father within a year after my injury accident or incident in June of '99, and then I stayed there and resided there until.
Sally, I know all this history. I've known you since before 1999, and I remember all these things that you're telling me. I wish I had a better answer, but since that time, you've needed a permanent place to stay. What's the name of your guardian company again?
Guardian of Finance and Advocacy. And then there's also Guardian of Finance, or then there's Guardian, Inc. So, I mean, it's guardian finance and advocacy. Located out of Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Michigan. And then they have guardian comedy.
All right, Sally, I'm appointing a lawyer for you. I'm going to set this for a hearing for the 4th of June at 9 a.m. I will send that to your mailing address. I've got your telephone number here. Thank you for calling in. Well, if we don't hear from you, we'll call you again, but June 4th at 9 o'clock. You're free to go. Thank you. All right, goodbye. John, I don't know why all these people are in Three Rivers, but you've certainly got your share of strugglers over there who end up with disorderly person tickets. Sean Witten is a failed to appear, and we'll do an order of show cause. I have a phone number. Let's dial him up. All right, he's not answering. Maybe it's too early in the day for him. All right, John, I think that finishes the Three Rivers cases.
All right, thank you.
Got Douglas Tullis,
Yes.
and I've got Austin Shaw in the waiting room, but he's a PEC, I believe.
Yeah, John.
What?
John, I was telling him to say thanks for Angela's offer. She does have a hard road to travel there to get to her goal.
Yeah, I was very impressed by the packet she put together. She's getting a lot of help from a lot of good people. Jerry Solis is helping her, and he's a former police officer.
Right.
So I think he has a lot of credibility.
She
And
looks good too, so I think she's
good success in helping people.
But as you know, it's so hard to get the eye through the camel through the eye of the needle with a DLAD, but
yeah.
All right.
The sad thing is SOS doesn't usually give them anything on that first attempt, historically.
No.
So, you know, I don't
So
want to.
it does look like she put together good information and she's trying to do what she can.
Fine, so.
All right, John, you're off the hook. We've got a couple more to deal with before we get into our pre-exams.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Thanks.
Mr. Douglas Tullis is here. He's come to the courthouse. Good morning, Mr. Tullis.
Pardon.
This is file 21784ST. You're charged with driving suspended, no registration plate, and no proof of insurance. The last two are civil infractions. Jeanette, any plea offer from the prosecutor?
No, he has several things that he needs to clear up on his license. That he has some FCJs out of Quapaw and this county. He's been expired for the last 7 years. I think if he got his as best I can tell, if he got his fees from Quapaw and Centerville cleared up, it looks like he could at least get his record clear and be eligible to get his license reinstated.
Well, he got a 257 326, in 19 and he hasn't paid on it. He's past due from June of last year. He has a retail fraud that he owes $125 on, so he's past due for that. He's got a no proof of insurance, failed to comply with judgment, misdemeanor plate violation from 2020, and an unpaid booking fee. So he got two of the exact same charges that he's got here, that he's not paying his fines and costs. So Mr. Tullis, I'm not sure what to do.
I have been paying on them. I made a payment, I think, a month ago. They said it was like $925 or something like that.
Well, there's $225 on one and a $125 on another. They're unpaid as of now. So we could just put you in jail and wipe out some of those fines and costs. Would you like to do that?
No,
Yeah, I bet. So how about if you pay your stuff? And you got the exact same ticket you got before. You're driving off no license, no insurance, and no proper plate. Like you hit yourself in the head because it feels so good when you stop. Probably the safe bet is to get you a lawyer. Because I don't know the prosecutor's going to cut you much of a break. They might if you paid off some of your stuff. They cut you a break on one of these in 2019 and turned it into allowing another to violate the motor vehicle code, and you didn't pay it. Then you got a couple of these exact same tickets for no insurance and no plate, and you didn't pay those either. So I want to show you plead not guilty. And set a pretrial, appoint attorney. Set attorney pretrial for May 4th at 9:30 a.m. Mr. Tullis, are you still out on Floating Bridge Road?
yes, I am.
All right, what I'd like you to do before you leave is go out to the counter and have the clerks give you a listing of how much you owe and what it is for.
All right.
The prosecutor might cut you some consideration if you pay a lot of your outstanding fines.
I'll make a payment this morning.
All right. And some of these unpaid fines are causing your license to be suspended.
That's the problem.
All
You
right.
get a big-
So I'm going to appoint you a lawyer. I'm going to set it for May 4th at 9:30 a.m. And then we'll see how much you can pay in the meantime. Are you working someplace?
Part-time.
Where's that?
The Lakeshore Construction in out of London.
Okay, good. All right, May 4th at 9:30, we'll get an attorney to help you. Go ask the ladies to give you a list of what you owe, and if you can pay some now, that's good too. All right, you're good to go.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, I've got Brandon Grossnickel, who was the Andy Rognus case. And then some sort of email from Andy in here somewhere in my stack of huge email.
I had it, but I didn't quite follow it. I think that's one I had.
Because it's from Andy?
I just couldn't follow it.
Let's see where it is.
I just
He
wasn't.
isn't here anyway, so
Let me see. I didn't find anything.
allowing another to mile. Well, I'm just gonna show it to fail to appear to an order to show cause. All right. I think that's all the arraignments we've got. Let's take a look, though. Because we got a host of pre-exam conferences to deal with here shortly. Violation of bond condition on Mark Lucas. The rest of these are felonies. All right.
Okay.
We'll stop this record and get ready to start it here in just a moment. I'll unname the conference room.
All right. Well, have a
All
good
right,
day.
thank you.
See you
I'll bring
later.
in Mr. Shaw. Thank you.
Bye.
I'll email if you something. No. Good morning, Mr. Shaw.
All right.
That's your client, Luke.
It is.
Do you want to talk to him?
Yes, please.
All right. Mr. Shaw, I'm going to put you in a room with your lawyer. All right, I'm going to stop the live feed momentarily and